to sit up nice and tall. So just start to connect with your breath. Start to watch your breath come in and out through your nose. Feel your sit bones root down into your mat or into your blanket if you're sitting on something. Then feel the crown of your head rise up toward the sky. And take your shoulders up, float them back and down. Relax your jaw, soften your temples. And then we'll continue to watch our breath come in and out through the nose. Just notice how everything starts to slow down. As we start to focus on the breath. Let's take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, draw your navel in and up. Engage the abdominals as you exhale. Let's do that again. Breath in. Feel the chest rise and the belly fill. And as you exhale, feel the belly engage. Draw the navel in and up. Let's do that again. Breath in and out. Now we're going to do a 4-part breath. So we're going to breathe in to the count of 4. We're going to hold it at the top to the count of 4. We'll exhale to the count of 4, and then we'll hold it at the bottom to the count of 4. And I'll do the counting. So let's take a breath in. And just let all that go. And now we're going to take a nice breath in to the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4. Nice and slow. Draw the navel in and up. 1. Hold it. And let's do that again. Breath in. Hold it here. Gently release. Hold it at the bottom. Feel the navel drawing in. And one more cycle through. Inhale. Hold it. Gently release. Draw the navel in and up. Hold it here. And then you can let your breath flow in and out naturally. And you can just stay right here. You can even keep your eyes closed. Just take your chin into your chest. And take your shoulders toward the floor. Now, if you'd like to, you can lightly place your fingers on the back of your head. If you want to deepen the pose, if that feels okay on your neck. If not, just keep your hands on your lap. Either way, we're drawing the navel in and up while we exhale. We're taking the chin into the chest. Feeling a nice big stretch in the back of the neck. And then we're going to release. We're going to start to take the chin toward the sky. And take the collarbones toward the floor. Opening up the neck in all directions. And just gently bring your chin parallel to the floor. So we're still sitting up nice and tall. Feel the crown of the head rising up, and then we're just going to turn and look over our left shoulder. Keep the shoulders floating back and down. So don't force it, just go as far as you can without forcing. Just kind of observe what's going on, but without any judgment. Just notice the rotation in your neck, the range of motion. Now we'll bring our chin back to center, and then we'll look over the left shoulder. And same thing, just kind of notice your range of motion and maybe how this side is over the other side. One more breath. And then bring your chin back to center. Now we're going to take our right ear to our right shoulder. Then we're going to take our head toward the front of our mat in a half circle until the left ear and left shoulder meet. And then we'll continue to just go half circles from one shoulder to the other. And go at your own pace. Go as slow as you want to go, feeling all this stretch in the neck. And we'll do that one more time. Next time an ear and a shoulder meet, stay there. And then we're going to do the same thing going toward the back of our mat. So again, half circles from one shoulder to the other. This side's usually a little tighter, a little noisier. So if you feel any particular area that's tight, maybe let your head hang there for a breath and then move on. You can find another spot, same thing. Let your head hang, breathe into it, and then move on. And just go nice and slow. Any little knots need to be kind of massaged out. Just do what you need to do. The next time an ear and a shoulder meet, stay there. And come on up, bring your head up, sit up nice and tall. We're going to continue to work on the shoulders and the neck. So if you did feel some tightness there, like I felt a really big knot right here. So we'll work a little bit more on the shoulders. Let's take our right hand, and we're going to walk it over to the right. So if you need to, you can put your hand on a block. If you feel like you're going to tip over, put your hand on a block, or you can just be on your fingertips. And we're going to take our right ear back to our right shoulder. Right ear back to the right shoulder. And now we're going to take the left arm out and then take it back, maybe down, maybe back and down. Move your arm around until you find that big stretch in your upper trapezius muscle. And breathe. Just send your breath over to that spot. Especially if it's feeling particularly tight. Breathe nice and slow. Coming back to your breath. This is a good time to stay with your breath. Stay focused on your breath. Now we're going to come up, we're going to take the right hand on the right ear and just carefully guide your head up. And now sit here and notice the right side from the left side. How does that feel? Just notice all that space that we're creating in the neck. And then we'll do the other side. We'll take the left ear to the left shoulder, walk the left hand out. Use a block if you need to. You're already going to start to feel that stretch in the upper traps. And then we're going to add on to it. So we're going to take the right arm out, back, maybe down toward the floor. It's usually down around here someplace. Yeah. And breathe. So even here, we want to inhale through the nose. And exhale, engage the abdominals. One more breath. Then we'll take our left hand onto our left ear and just gently, slowly Guide your head up, and again, sit up nice and tall. Notice how you feel. Now let's find our strap. And we're going to take the strap and maybe fold it in half. It really depends on the length of the strap or the belt that you're using. The new ones that I ordered are 10 feet, so that you would definitely fold those in half. This is not 10 feet. So we're just going to start right now with the strap out in front. So our wrists are in front of our shoulders. We're just going to pull to the right and pull to the left. Take the shoulders back and down. Inhale, exhale, engage your abdominals. Now we're going to just bring the arms up and overhead. So same thing, just pulling to the right and pulling to the left. Take the shoulders down away from your ears. And then we could take the arms out a little wider and even pull to the right and pull to the left, and then even do whatever feels good. Maybe it feels good to just kind of move around a little bit, get a big stretch. And we'll add the rotation. This is where you may need it to be a little bit longer. So we'll start with the arms here and then bring them up and back. So you want it long enough that you can get here. And then just go at your own pace. Up and back. You can add the figure 8, taking the right hand behind and the left hand in front. And then the left hand behind and the right hand in front. And then we'll go ahead and just bring the strap back out in front. And move it over to the side for right now. And then again, sit here and just notice how you feel. Sit up nice and tall. And let's look over our right shoulder again. Just kind of notice if there's a difference. We kind of loosened the neck up a little bit. Is there a little bit more range of motion? And it's not a big deal if there isn't. It's just a way to kind of check in. Let's come back to center and look over the left shoulder. And then come on back to center. Let's make our way onto our hands and knees. So coming on your hands and knees, put a blanket under your knees if you need to. We're going to stack our shoulders over our wrists and our hips over our knees. And then take the tops of your feet and press them down into the mat as well. Broaden across the collarbones. Take the shoulders away. Draw your navel in and up. So right now we're not moving. We're just engaging the abdominals, pushing the floor away, pressing the toes into the mat. Now we're going to take our tailbone toward our knees. Keep pushing the floor away and look up at your navel. Look up at your belly button, taking your chin into your chest for cat pose. Now take your tailbone toward the ceiling. Let your belly gently drop toward the mat. Broaden across your collarbones. Let's go through that for a few breaths. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale. Push the floor away. Inhale, come back to cow. And then go through that a couple more times at your own pace. It might feel good to kind of wiggle your hips from side to side. Whatever feels good for you. Just getting the spine moving, which we'll do a lot of in this practice. And then come on back to your neutral spine. Okay, we'll stay here. And we're going to take our right arm out in front. So just take the wrist in line with your shoulder. So this left arm really needs to engage, right? You're going to need to engage your tricep so you don't collapse here. You want to keep this lift. You want to draw the navel in and up. And just hold it here for a couple of breaths. Just notice how challenging this is in the core, where you're really using some core muscles to stay here on one hand and two knees. Now we're going to extend the left leg out behind us. Your toes can stay down on your mat or your floor, or you can lift your leg parallel to the floor and stay here. Hold it here. Now we get the back muscles working as well. Still want to draw the navel in and up and breathe. My allergies are kicking in, so I'm a little sniffly. Pressing that left hand into your mat, really engaging the left arm, working the core, working the back. One more breath. Reach through the right fingers and press through that left heel. And then we'll bring that hand down and knee. All right, other side. So we're going to start with just the hand. So we're going to take the left arm out and really engage our right tricep, our right arm. Draw the navel in and up. Breathe. And just notice how challenging this is. Really starting to feel the abs fire. And you can press down into the tops of your feet. Now we're going to take the right leg back. Toes can stay down, or maybe lift your leg parallel to the floor. We're reaching through the fingertips and pressing through the right heel. Drawing the navel in and up. And breathing. Most importantly, breathe. Don't hold your breath. Make sure you're exhaling. This is an easy pose to hold the breath. Make sure you're exhaling as well as inhaling. And then take your hand and knee down. And then let's take another cat-cow. Tailbone toward the knees, push the floor away. Turn your tailbone toward the sky. Broaden across your collarbones. And then come on to neutral spine. Take your knees wide, take your toes together, and we'll take a child's pose. So your forehead can rest on the floor or it can rest on a block. If you do have trouble getting your tailbone to your heels, you can put a blanket between your legs as well. So once we're here, come up on your fingertips. I'm just going to press your fingertips into your mat. Feel your tailbone reach a little closer to your heels. And then walk your hands over to the left. And then take your left hand on your right. And feel a nice stretch on the right side. And then we'll walk our hands back to center and then over to the right. And then you can take your right hand on your left. And just notice the stretch on the left side, breathing into that left side, into the left ribs. And then hands will come back to center. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Come on up. And then we're just going to have a seat. So we're going to flip around. And we're going to come back onto our backs. So once you're seated, just roll down onto your back. Keep your blanket and your strap nearby. And then once you're down onto your back, extend your legs. So those of you who want to use a wall, you can take your feet to a wall. We've been doing that a lot. I'm just going to stay here today, but you're all welcome to go to a wall if you want. All right, so we're going to take our heels to the edge of our mat or at your wall. We're going to reach the arms overhead. And then hook your thumbs together. So take an inhale. And as you exhale, press your heels away and reach through your fingertips. Feeling a nice stretch through the sides of the body. Draw your navel in and up. Inhale, release. Switch the grip of your thumbs. Exhale, press through your heels. Reach through your fingers. Draw your navel in and up, engaging the abdominals. And then inhale and release. Switch the thumbs. Exhale, press. Inhale, switch your grip. Exhale, press through the heels. Full body stretch. And then release. And you can just bring your hands down. Now bring your feet together. So your feet are flexed, and it's as if you have a rubber band around your big toes. And you can just keep your hands on your belly or by your side. And we're going to point our toes toward the edge of our mat. So if you're at the wall, you might need to scoot back a little bit. And then flex your toes towards your shins. Okay, so we're going to do that on the exhale, but we want the whole body to move with it. So let's just take an inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to pump our feet. We're going to point and flex. So you're kind of pumping your feet, getting your whole body into the movement. So really working through all the tissue, the fascia, and then inhale and stop. And let's do that again. Exhale, point and flex, point and flex. Inhale and stop. Exhale, point and flex. And then inhale, release. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, pump your feet, pump your feet. And then inhale and release. Then keep your toes together, keep the feet flexed. And we're going to make circles on the ceiling. And it's the same thing. Our whole body can go to the movement of this. And we'll do it on the exhale. So let's take an inhale here. And as we exhale, we make circles to the right. Circles to the right. The whole body's kind of moving. And then inhale, stop. Exhale to the left. Circle, 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 circle. Inhale, stop. Exhale to the right. Inhale, stop. Exhale to the left. Inhale, stop. And one more time each side. Exhale to the right. Inhale and release. And to the left. Really working the ankles, but really kind of getting the whole body into it. And inhale and stop. All right. So let's just bend the right knee. We'll keep the left leg long. We're going to hug the right knee up and just clasp around the right shin for right now. So press through your left heel. So left toes are pointing straight up. We're going to take the right knee over to the right shoulder. Kind of hug the right knee down. And then take your tailbone down into your mat. So you might feel a little sensation, a little pinching sensation in your right hip flexor. That's okay. Just breathe here. So that's why we kind of take the knee over to the shoulder. So we want to get it off the heart, or the internal organs, off the belly. As we push down and feel that release of the hip flexor. All right, now let's release that. Let's take our left hand onto our right knee, and we're going to take the right knee over to the left. And the right arm's going to come out like a T. And then the left leg just goes nice and long. Inhale, press through your left leg. Exhale, go deeper into your twist. Inhale, press through your heel. Exhale, twist. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, nice deep twist. And then bring the knee up. And we'll let that foot glide to the edge of our mat. All right, other side. We're going to hug the left knee up. We'll take it over to the left shoulder. Clasp around your shin. Just gently press down onto your knee. So you're pressing your knee towards your shoulder. And you're flexing through both feet. And we're really hugging that knee down. And then we take the tailbone into the mat. Just feel a little bit of a sensation, kind of almost a pinching sensation in our hip flexor. Breathe here. And then we'll take our right hand onto our left knee. We'll guide the knee over to the right. Inhale, extend through your right leg. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. So that left hip comes way up. We're trying to get the knee over to the right. But try and keep the left shoulder down. It's okay if it pops up a little bit. Inhale, extend through your right leg, and then exhale, go deeper into your twist. And then bring your knee up. And let that leg glide to the floor. Now we'll go with our breath. One breath, one movement. Take the right knee up on your inhale. Exhale into your twist. Bring the knee up. Exhale, release. Inhale, left knee comes up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, release. One more time, inhale, right knee up. Exhale, nice deep twist. Inhale, bring it up. And release. Inhale, left knee up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, knee up. And exhale, release. And just stay here for a breath. All right, so now we're going to take the right knee back up. Left leg stays long. We're going to clasp around the right shin. And then we're going to take our forehead to our knee. If that is okay with your neck. If this bothers your shoulders or your neck, stay here. Otherwise, take the forehead to your knee. Press the left heel away. Hold it here, really hugging it in. Chin comes into your chest. Inhale. As you exhale, drop the navel in and up. And then we're going to release the foot to the mat. Other side, inhale. Actually, we do the exhale as we pull the knee up and take the forehead to the knee. We're going to flex through both feet. Chin draws into your chest. Push away with your right leg. Breathe. And then release. And we'll go with our breath again. So exhale, right knee comes up, forehead towards your knee. Inhale, release. Exhale, left knee comes up. Inhale and release. Exhale, right knee up. Inhale, release. And exhale, left knee up. And inhale and release, and just stay here. All right, so let's take both knees up. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to exhale and bring our forehead to our knees. Hug it in. And then as we inhale, release, and if you want, you can reach your arms overhead. Exhale, bring everything in. Inhale, release. Let your feet float to your mat. Exhale, hug it in. Squeeze it in. Inhale. Exhale, hug everything in. Inhale, release, and one more time. Exhale, bring the forehead to the knees, squeeze it in, and then inhale, let your feet float and glide to your mat. Now hug your knees back in. You can hold on to you can interlace your fingers or hold on to your knees. Really hug them in. And then we're going to just take our knees over to the right shoulder. And then bring them back to center and over to the left shoulder. And back to center. Just go from side to side without falling over to one side. So just kind of rocking from side to side, giving yourself a nice massage on your back. And then come on back to center. Place your feet down onto your mat and find your strap. So we're going to go into the hip series. So that, you guys know, and have really been with me for a while, that's called the morning series in Purna Yoga. And then we're going into the hip series in Purna Yoga. So that's where my teacher studies, and that's where I study. So we're going to take the strap around the right foot, the right heel. And you can use a loop if you want, or you can put both ends of your strap around your heel. Then we're going to extend the left leg long. Just like before, let the left leg long, with the toes pointing straight up. So we're getting the internal rotation of the left leg. And then the right leg should be straight. So We don't want it coming so far forward that we're bending the knee. We want the legs straight. Then we're going to lock the shoulders down. Flex through both feet. Then we're going to take the right thigh bone away from our chin. And take the low belly toward our chin. As we press our heel into the strap, and we pull the strap into the heel. And breathe here. So I don't say this every class, but I have said it before. If you deal with sciatica, something you can do is you can point your toes toward the ceiling and then flex your toes towards your shin. So it would be a flow. So you point and flex, and point and flex. And this is something you can do throughout the week. If you have active sciatica, you can come into this pose and point and flex and point and flex. This is something nice to know that you can do because a lot of us have that issue every now and then. All right, so now let's switch sides. Let's take the strap around the left heel. Take the right leg straight. Lock the shoulders down. Flex through both feet. And we're going to take the left thigh bone away from our chin and the low belly toward our chin. And here you can point and flex if you want. It's actually called flossing the nerve or mobilizing the nerve. Pull down on the strap. If you're not flossing, pull down on the strap, press into the strap. And then we'll switch sides again. So now we'll take both ends of the strap, or maybe your loop. We're going to take it into our left hand. The left leg goes long. We're going to take our right thumb into our right hip crease. We're going to push that right thigh bone away. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, take your right heel over in line with your left shoulder. And you're pressing your right thigh away. Taking your low belly in and up. And then the left shoulder locks down. And you can even point and flex here if you want. Breathe here. Push that right thigh bone away. And then take the low belly in and up. And then you can stay here. If you want to take this a little further, you can take your leg over to the left a little bit more. And even take your right arm out to the right. Going into your IT band area. Getting even up into the glutes. Feeling this down through the shin, the calf. Lots of sensation in this pose. So just be gentle. Go where you can go. That right hip can come way up. And then as you exhale, bring your leg up. And remove the strap, and we'll switch sides. So we'll take the strap around the left heel. Both ends of the strap are going to come into our right hand, or your loop. Left thumb into your left hip crease. We're going to push that left thigh bone away, and then slowly take our left heel in line with our right shoulder. So right now it's just in line with our body, right in line with the right shoulder. And again, you can point and flex here if you want. Press through your right heel. Press that left thigh bone away. So we're trying to create traction in the low back. Create a little bit more length, a little bit more space in the spine. Stay here, or maybe take your leg a little further over to the right. Just go where you can, and you can take your left arm out. And breathe. Inhale. And exhale. And then we'll bring the leg up. And remove the strap. Take your leg to the edge of your mat. Okay, we're taking the strap back around the right heel. This time both ends of the strap are going to come into the right hand. Left leg goes nice and long. We want to focus on getting an internal rotation of the left leg. Flex through both feet. Inhale. And as we exhale, carefully lower your right leg out to the right. Now, I did forget to say it, but if you want to, it's nice to have a blanket right underneath your right hip. So I'm going to do it again. Inhale. And as I exhale, I'm going to lower my leg out to the right. Now I have a blanket here supporting my hip. Or you can put a block there or a pillow. Or if you feel okay without it. But it's kind of nice to have one. And we're just opening up through the hips here. Take your left hand onto your left hip bone. Pull that hip toward the floor. Flex through your foot. The right foot. Keep the left toes pointing up. Try not to let that left foot splay out to the left. So we're getting an internal rotation of the left leg. The left inner thigh is rotating toward the mat. Inhale. And as you exhale, slowly bring your leg up. And we'll switch sides. So take the strap around your left foot. You have a blanket, bring it over to the other side. It's right underneath the hip. Right leg goes long. Right hand can come onto your right hip bone. Inhale. And as you exhale, slowly lower your leg out to the left. The outer edge of your left foot is parallel to the floor. The inner right thigh is pressing toward the mat. We're flexing through our right foot and pulling down that right hip. Chest stays lifted. And you can point and flex here. I didn't say that on the other side, but you can point and flex through any of these. So just to know, good thing to know if you're doing it throughout the week. Inhale. Exhale, bring your leg up. And remove your strap. Take your leg to the edge of your mat. You can put the strap aside, put your blanket aside, and just stay here for a couple breaths and kind of notice how that feels. Just checking in. Then you can hug your knees in. Maybe rock from side to side. Or maybe just move the legs around a little bit. Just whatever feels good. And then we're going to roll over to one side and come onto our hands and knees. Again. All right. So we're going to, let's get some blocks. I'm going to work on some lunges here. So I'm going to face this way, but for most of you, you're going to want to be lengthwise on your mat. So from your hands and knees, let's take our right foot forward. So we're going to come into a lunge. So right now the blocks are, actually have the blocks in line with your shoulders. So we're going to take our hands up onto our right knee. And then we're going to take the tailbone toward the right heel. So we're going to start to feel this right in your left hip flexor. And we're going to interlace your fingers and press down into your thigh and get a little bit of lift. So reach through the crown of your head. All right, then we can take our hand down. If you have a block here, you take your hand down on your block and we're going to reach the left arm up. Take your low belly in and up. Inhale, exhale, and maybe you can take your arm over to the right. And it's okay, you can just keep your arm on your leg as well, if you don't have a block. Draw the navel in and up. Taking that tailbone toward the front heel. And then we're going to come all the way up. Now we're going to take the blocks forward. We're going to slide our right foot forward a little bit more. And there's 3 heights to the block, so you might want to take them down. It just depends on your hamstrings. So you're feeling this in your hamstrings, right? So some of you might even be able to just bring your hands on that. So the front leg is straight. We're sliding it out. We're in actually Hanumanasana, half split. Yeah, there we go. All right. Yes, good. Now we're going to draw that right hip back and press the left hip forward. Just keep your chest lifted for right now. Right hip back, left hip forward. So the target area is the hamstrings. You're feeling this in your hamstrings. Breathing here. Keep the chest lifted. Keep drawing that right hip back and the left hip forward. One more breath. And then slide that leg coming back onto your hands and knees. And we'll switch sides. So now we'll take the left foot forward. We'll have our blocks back here for right now. We'll start with our hands on our thigh. Interlace your fingers and press into your thigh to get a little bit of length in your spine. So feel the crown of your head rising up. And then if you have a block here, you can take your hand on your block, or you can just leave your hand here. We're going to take the right arm up. Low belly draws up towards your belly button, and we're going to, the low belly draws up towards your chin. We want to take the tailbone toward the front heel. Inhale. And then exhale, maybe take your hand over a little bit to the left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Taking the low belly up toward our chin. And then come all the way up. And we'll take the hands and block forward and slide the left leg forward. So we're straightening the leg. Draw the left hip back. Press the right hip forward. And again, just depending on your hamstrings, go wherever you can go on your block. Some of us might need the blocks higher, some might need them lower, some of us might not need them at all. And you may notice one side's different than the other. So maybe one leg of your hamstrings is pretty open, the other could be a little tighter. Inhale, draw that left hip back, and exhale. Press the right hip forward. And then we'll slide that leg back. Coming back onto our hands and knees. Flow through a couple cat-cows. Take your tailbone towards your knees, push the floor away. And then come into your cow pose. Just flow through at your own pace. And then let's all come back to cow pose. When you're flowing through, just stop in cow, which means your tailbone's turning up toward the sky. Turn your toes under and come into a downward facing dog. Keep your heels up off the mat and keep your knees bent. And then just take your chest towards your thighs. Look at your knees. Spread your fingers wide. Keep your knees soft. Get your tailbone maybe a little bit higher. So really deepening into the groins. And take your tailbone higher. Then you can straighten your legs. And place your heels a little closer to the floor. You can press through one heel, bend the opposite knee. And then switch. And go ahead and pedal your feet a couple times. Again, feeling that through the hamstrings. And now look towards your hands and carefully walk your feet and your hands toward each other. Coming into a forward bend. Keep your knees soft. You can just keep your arms dangling like this, or you can hold on to your opposite elbows. Let the crown of your head fall heavy toward the floor. Inhale. Exhale, big loud exhale. Ah. Inhale. And let that go. Feel all that stuff we've been carrying around all week, just releasing. And one more time, big breath in. And big loud breath out. And you can take your hands on your hips. Come all the way up. And coming into Tadasana, let's take a few breaths here. So our feet are hip distance apart. Shoulders back and down, drawing the navel in and up. Crown of the head rises up toward the sky. Just stay here. All right. So from here, let's step our feet apart and bring our arms out. Actually, get a block. Take it behind your left foot. So we're going to take our arms out. We're going to turn the left toes out and the right toes in. Left toes out, right toes in. And then the block's going to be behind our left foot. Arms extend out. We're going to reach out over our front toes. You can have your right hand on your hip, and the left hand's going to come onto your block. So right now we want to get the right shoulder stacking over the left. Press into your block, and we want to try to get the left rib cage pressing toward the front of your mat, this long edge of your mat. Draw the left sit bone towards your back heel. And then maybe you can take your right arm up. So you can just look straight ahead, maybe even just down at your left foot. Or you can look up towards your right thumb. And breathe. Press into your block. Low belly draws in and up and reach through the fingertips. And then really notice what's going on with your feet. We're rooting down through both feet. One more breath. And then we're going to come up. We'll switch our feet around and move the block to the other side. So now the right toes are pointing out, left toes in and up. Feet are on the same plane, so your right heel intersects your back arch. Arms extend out. Inhale. Exhale, reach out over. We'll take our left hand on our hip to start, and the right hand comes on our block. We take the right rib cage toward the left. So we add that twist. Check in here. Draw your right butt cheek towards your back heel. And you can find your gaze. Maybe it's just down at your right foot, maybe straight across. If you want, you can take your left arm up and maybe look up at your left thumb. We're drawing that low belly in and up. We're taking that right sit bone, the right butt cheek toward the back heel and pressing into our block as we reach up. Inhale, come all the way up. Bring both feet forward. Step your feet together and take a breath here. All right, so now we're going to step our feet wide again. Turn the left toes out, right toes in. And we're going to bend into the front knee. So we're going to come into warrior two. All right, so we have the block. Bring it in front of your foot this time. All right, so we're in warrior two. We want to try to get that front knee to track over the second or third toe. And the gaze is over our front fingertips. Shoulders back and down. And then we're going to reach out, extend out. We're going to bring our hand onto our block. All right, and then the right hand's back on our hip. So we're pressing into this block, and we want to press the elbow into the knee and the knee into the elbow. So we're trying to really get that knee over that middle toe. And then you can extend your right arm up. So just up for right now. Up straight toward the ceiling. Again, your gaze can be whatever feels good with your neck. But really try to hug the knee into the arm and the arm into the knee. Pressing into your block. Or extended side angle. And then slowly come up. You can bring the block with you. We're going to turn our feet in the opposite direction. So now the right toes will come forward, the left toes will point in and up. And then we come into warrior two. It's really root down through both feet. The gaze is over the front fingers to start. Inhale, hug that right hip in so your knee's tracking over the middle toe. And then we're going to take our hand onto our block. Left hand comes on the hip. Hug the knee and the arm into each other. So we want to get, just like in triangle, we try to get that rib cage, we're going to get the right rib cage toward the left, and then we can extend the left arm up. Hi, Molly. Molly's making a visit. Hug the knee into the arm and the arm into the knee. Root down through both feet, opening up the chest. And then come all the way up. Bring both feet in line with each other. Step your feet together into Tadasana. And take a breath. All right, now we're going to need both blocks. And I guess I'll face this way. All right, so I'm going to face this way, lengthwise on my mat. We're in Tadasana, shoulders back and down, belly draws in and up. All right, now you can even start with your hands on your hips. And let's step the left leg back. The right foot's going to be forward. We're going to square off our hips. So we're going to press the left hip forward, draw the right hip back. So hands on your hips. That's a good way to really get the hips nice and square. And then we're going to lift the chest and take an inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to hinge forward and bring our hands down onto our blocks. So we're coming into Hanumanasana. Draw the right hip back, press the left hip forward. Keep the chest lifted. Inhale, drawing that hip back, and pressing the left hip forward. Lengthening through the crown of your head, but keeping the chest lifted. So we're not going down very low. You can, if you want, to lower your blocks a little bit lower if you're not feeling anything in your hamstrings. You get a little bit more stretch. All right, now from here we're going to add on. So you're welcome to just stay right here. Or if you want to take this into twisted triangle, you can take your block right underneath your nose towards your right foot. And we're going to start to stack the right shoulder over the left. So we're twisting toward the right leg. You can have your right hand on your right hip. You can even move your left foot over a little bit to deepen into your twist. So this is going to really get into your hamstring. So listen to your body here. Draw that right hip back. Press your left hip forward. If this feels okay, maybe you can extend your right arm up. And maybe you can take your gaze up towards your right thumb. One more breath, pulling that right hip back, pressing that left hip forward, and then bring your hand down. Take your hands onto your hips and come all the way up. Step your feet together and take a breath. All right, now we're going to switch. So then now the right leg's going to come back, left foot forward. Square off your hips. So press the right hip forward, left hip back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift your chest. And as we exhale, hinge forward. Keep the chest lifted, bring your hands down onto your block. If you only have one block, you can just take your block. I should have said this on the other side. You can always just take your block behind your heel. Or you can use a chair, which we've been doing a lot lately. Draw the left hip back. Press your right hip forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Feeling this in your hamstrings. Lengthening through the spine. And then you can just stay right here, or you can take this into twisted triangle. We're going to slide the block underneath our nose, a little closer to the left foot. We're going to start to take our belly button toward the left leg. Left hand can land on your hip for right now. We're twisting, and we're taking the left shoulder over the right. Pull that left hip back. Check in here. How does this feel? Maybe you can extend your left arm up. And breathe. Drawing that left hip back and the right hip forward. Maybe the gaze can come up to your left thumb. And then slowly come on down. Take your hands on your hips, step your feet together, come all the way up. And step to Tadasana. All right. So let's come to Tadasana again. Take the shoulders back and down, belly button in towards your chin. Feel the legs engage. And let's take a big inhale, reach your arms up toward the sky. Look up at your thumbs. Exhale, take an easy swan dive forward. Inhale, bring your hands onto your shins. Take the shoulder blades away from your ears. Reach the tailbone toward the back of your mat, and the crown of your head toward the top of your mat. And hold it here a few breaths. Really keep the chest lifted, feel the spine nice and long. Inhaling, exhaling. And then we're going to exhale forward and step the feet back into downward facing dog, or you can come onto all fours. In down dog, you pedal your feet. If you're on all fours, you can take a cat-cow. Just give a nice stretch here. And then let's shift forward to plank. Again, you can be on your knees, shifting forward to plank. Shoulders are going to come over the wrists, or you're in full plank here. Pressing the heels toward the edge of your mat. Push the floor away from you. Draw your navel in and up towards your spine. Push the floor away. Again, anytime you need to put your knees down, you can hold it here a couple more breaths. Give it a try. Strong arms, strong core. One more breath. And then let's all take our knees onto the mat. And then take child's pose. Knees wide, toes together, arms extend out for child's pose. Just take a breath here. Feel the body relax. And then go ahead and come up onto your hands and knees. And have a seat. We'll take our legs out in front. You can sit on a blanket. And we're going to take our legs wide into Upavista Konasana legs. Find your strap. So we'll start here with the legs wide. And then we'll take the left foot into our inner thigh. So let's take the strap around the right foot. Flex through your foot. We're going to keep the chest lifted. Some of you may not need a strap in a sec, but we're going to start with it. We're going to inhale, keep the chest lifted, and exhale, walk your hands towards your foot. So some of you might be able to take a hold of your foot, and some of us might need our strap. It just depends on your hamstrings and your range of motion. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, keep the chest lifted. We'll just take our left shoulder toward the right leg. And then come up. We're going to square our shoulders over the, let's get back a little bit. Okay. Square our shoulders over our left knee. We're going to keep the strap here, but let's just take the strap so it's in front of us now. All right, so our shoulders are square over the left knee. You can take your right hand onto your left knee. And then we're starting to take the right shoulder toward the right thigh. Now the right elbow is going to come into your inner thigh. So we're stacking this left shoulder over the right. You're going to start to feel this right here, right here on your side. This is your quadratus lumborum, the QL. Now what you can do with a strap is either take a hold of the strap with your right hand and just keep your left hand maybe on your low back or behind your head. Just deepen that stretch. You still want to keep this top shoulder over the bottom. Or you can play around, maybe try to get a hold of the strap with your left hand. Go a little bit deeper into your stretch. And if you're able to, some of you might be able to get a hold of your right foot with your left hand. But you don't want to lose this opening. So if your chest drops down, try to stay with the strap instead. And it should feel really nice. It's a nice stretch. It's a nice muscle to release. Breathe deeply. And then slowly, carefully come up. And we'll switch our legs around. So now the left leg goes out, right foot's going to come in. We'll start with a strap around the foot, this left foot. All right, so we're going to sit up nice and tall. Inhale, and as we exhale, walk your hands down your strap. Again, some of you might be able to take a hold of your foot. Others might just need to use your strap. It's okay, it doesn't matter. Inhale, chest stays lifted. Exhale. Take your right shoulder towards your left leg. Flex through your foot. Inhale, maybe you can bring your chest a little closer to your thigh, but we keep the chest lifted. And one more breath. And come up. We're going to bring the strap out in front of us. And then we're going to switch so our shoulders are square over the right leg. Left hand comes onto the right leg. And then we're going to lower the left shoulder toward the left thigh, with the left elbow digging right into your inner thigh. And we're stacking the right shoulder over the left. So your right hand can stay down here or maybe behind your head. And then find your strap with your left hand. Dig your elbow into your inner thigh to get that twist. So just like in Trikonasana, we're trying to get that left rib cage toward the right. But now we're really feeling this right here in the right QL. Or maybe you can reach over with the right hand and find your strap. I love this pose. I don't know about you guys. I just think this feels so good. Nice deep stretch. And breathe here. Stay here for a few breaths. It's nice to hold this for more than just 2 or 3 breaths so we can really go deep into that muscle and release. And then slowly come all the way up. And then just put the strap aside. Let's take our legs long. We're going to come onto our backs. So keep your strap kind of right over here, right by your hips. So we're going to come down. And then walk your heels in. Knees are bent. Walk your heels in a little closer to your hips. And then, actually, I just realized we didn't do internal and external rotation of our hips in the hip series. So let's get this a good place to do that. So let's slide the right foot over to the right and let that knee drop in toward our left foot. And then take your left foot onto your right thigh. Now we check our alignment. Make sure our right knee is in line with our right shoulder, and we're going to lower down. So that right hip can pop up a lot. And if it's too much to have your foot on your leg, you can just take it off. And if you want to, you can extend your right arm overhead. Take a hold of your wrist, your right wrist with your left hand. And breathe. Nice deep breaths. Low belly draws in and up. Maybe even drag your left heel down your right thigh as you pull on your right arm. It's really nice long line from the right quadricep right up to the top of the right psoas, the upper attachment of the right psoas. And then let's switch. So knees come back up. We're going to slide the left foot over, and the left knee's going to drop in toward the right foot. And we'll take our right foot on our left thigh, if that works for you, and then we check our alignment. Left knee and left shoulder in line with each other. Check in here. How does this feel? If it feels kind of easy, maybe you can take your left arm overhead and take hold of your left wrist with your right hand. And maybe just gently pull on the left arm as you drag your right heel down your leg. And then come on out. Take your feet on the floor. Stay here for a breath. And then we'll just drop the right knee over to the right and take that right foot behind the left heel. And maybe take the left heel in front of your right shin or on your right thigh. And if that's too much, just keep the left foot on the mat. Low belly draws up towards your chin. Arms can come overhead, or maybe hold on to your opposite elbows. And we'll switch sides. You come back on the floor, we let the left leg drop out, and the left foot kind of tucks behind your right heel. Maybe you take your right heel in front of your left shin, or maybe on your left thigh. Arms can stay overhead, or hold on to your opposite elbows, or if it feels better, just keep them on your belly. Low belly draws in and up. And then uncross, place your feet on the mat. Keep your legs, your knees bent. Walk your heels in, now find your strap. We'll do one bridge pose. So we're going to take the strap underneath our body. We'll turn the palms up and underneath the strap. So our thumbs are pointing out at the outside edges of our mat. And now we're going to walk our heels in just a little bit more. Root down through both feet. Inhale. And as you exhale, lift your hips. So we're going to pick up the right shoulder and walk it underneath the chest. Pick up the left shoulder, walk it underneath your chest. Press down through both feet, lift your hips a little higher. Maybe you can walk your hands in a little closer to each other, but keep the hands touching on your mat. So you don't want your hands lifting up into space. We want them down and in control. If you want, you can always interlace your fingers underneath your hips. Root down through both feet. Take your quads towards your hips and take your little belly towards your chin. Stay here for one more breath. And then we're going to load down. Upper back, middle back, lower back. Now take your feet wide to the edges of your mat. Let your knees drop over to the right. And then bring them up and drop them over to the left. And just flow through that a couple more times at your own pace. Just windshield wiper your legs from one side to the other. Now bring your knees up, bring your feet back in line with your hips, and then let's hug our knees into our chest. Take your right knee over your left and hug your knees in. If this feels easy, you can take a hold of your ankles. Maybe pull the ankles apart, really feeling that big stretch in the right piriformis. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Flex through your feet. You can always take your legs a little closer to the left, getting a deeper stretch in that right side. And then let's uncross and we'll switch sides. Left knee is going to come over the right. We hug the knees in. So start with your hands right on your shins or just around your knees, and we're hugging them in. You're going to feel that big stretch in your left piriformis. Just stay here. Maybe slide your hands down to your ankles. Gently pull the ankles apart. Keep the chest lifted. Maybe take your knees over to the right slightly. And then bring your knees up, uncross. Place your feet down on the floor. Let's take our right ankle over the left knee this time. Stay here and gently press your right leg away, or lift the left foot, slide your right hand through, and clasp around your left thigh. Draw the left knee up toward the chin, and maybe press your right leg away with your right elbow. And even here, you can take your legs slightly over to the left to make a little bit deeper stretch. Same muscle getting into the piriformis. Big contributor to back pain. Especially a contributor to sciatica if the muscle is pressing onto that nerve. These are good poses to do if you have sciatica as well. Let's bring the knees up, uncross. We'll switch sides. Left foot can come down, right foot comes down, left ankle on the right knee, and you can gently press away with your left hand or slide your left hand through. We'll draw that right knee toward our nose. Gently press your left leg away. Maybe take your legs slightly over to the right. And then bring your knees up, uncross. Place your feet down on your mat. Take your arms out to the sides. We're going to take our hips over to the right. We're going to go into a twist. So you can keep your knees together and just take your knees over to the left, or you can cross your right leg over to the, and then take your knees over. So either way, if you don't like your legs crossed, just stack the knees on top of each other. And the gaze can just be over your left hand. Just keep it simple, keep it easy. And bring your knees up, uncross. Hips are going to slide over to the left, and then you can come into your twist. Either way, just take your knees over to the right, or cross your left knee over your right. Just gaze over your right hand. And bring your knees up, uncross. Hug your knees into your chest. Take your forehead to your knees. Give yourself a big squeeze here. Nice big hug. And then we'll find Shavasana. And really any Shavasana that's going to feel good for you. You know all of the choices. We can take your legs up onto a chair or your couch, or you can roll up your blanket. Place the blanket underneath your knees. Or you can bend your knees and bring the knees together. It's nice to put a blanket under your head. My cat is still on all my blankets, so I'm not going to get a second one. But she slept through the whole class. But sometimes it's nice to just have a blanket underneath your head. Not so high that you're going to be crunching your neck, just something nice where your chin's kind of drawing towards your chest. And then we'll find Shavasana. We'll just check in here. Release the fingers, release the toes. Keep the chest lifted. Relax your jaw, soften your temples. Just let your whole body relax and let go. And I'll ring the bells when it's time to come out of your rest. You can begin to awaken your body. Start to bring movement into your fingers and your toes. Deepen your breath. Reach your arms overhead. Get a big stretch. And when you're ready, make your way over to one side. Stay there for another breath. Just making your connection back to your day. And then when you're ready, at your own pace, come up to a comfortable seated position. You can sit here with your eyes closed and just check in. Notice how you feel. Notice how you feel since you got on your mat this morning. Maybe feeling just a little more peaceful, maybe just a little happier, maybe just a little lighter. Let's take our hands to our heart center. And I'd like to do this loving kindness meditation, this metta meditation. I've done this a lot when we're together. So it's gonna be a little bit different because you guys are in your own rooms, and you can just repeat after me. But I think we all could use a little loving kindness right about now. So I'll say the one verse and then you'll repeat it, and you can say it silently or out loud if you want. So, may I be filled with loving kindness. So then you would say, may I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be truly happy. May I be truly happy. And now we're going to think about somebody you'd like to send this out to. And then think of that person or something in your mind, and we'll send this to them. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be truly happy. And then we send this out to the universe, to Mother Earth, the universe and beyond, all sentient beings. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be truly happy. Thank you so much for letting me guide you in your practice this morning. Have a great week. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. You can unmute yourselves now. I'm going to stop recording.
Thank you, Karen.